Did you just start Minecraft for the first time and feel like this? Is this a cow? What are these? What's happening? Have you ever started a Minecraft game and this happened to you? I don't know why I'm flying. Does this game make you feel like this? Does someone you know play Minecraft and you really just want to know what they're talking about? If you said yes to any of those things, then this video series might be for you. If you've ever done this before, this series might not be for you. Or it might be, who knows? However, if getting started in Minecraft feels completely overwhelming to you, then you're in luck. I am the Blue Regent, and I am here to show you how to get started in Minecraft. Okay, so we are back for the third installment of How Do I Play Minecraft? And our goal here is to build off of everything that we learned in the first two episodes. So I'm going to click on Single Player, I'm going to go to Create New World, and this time I'm going to name my world because this is going to be the world that we're going to work off of from here on out. I'm going to name my world How Do I Play, but you can name your world anything you want to. So I'm going to leave all of this alone, just like before, and we're going to click Create a New World. And, okay, so this is a thing that happens sometimes in Minecraft. I am on an island that has no trees. Now, luckily for me, there's an island over there with trees. And actually, I think I'm going to head over there. But if this happens to you, you can always, again, go back to the title and create a new map. But I'm going to swim over to this island, and this is going to be where I start my base. So I'm going to jump in the water, and I want to make sure that I keep my head above the water. Okay, so now we're on an island that has trees on it, which is good, because I need trees to get started. So from here, all of our first steps are going to be the same. I'm going to punch a tree down. I'm going to punch its leaves to see if it's got any items for me. So a new item that one of the leaf blocks has dropped is this apple right here. And this apple, just like any of the stuff that we picked up last episode, is a thing that I can eat for food. Now, I'm not concerned about food right now, but this is a perfect time to talk about food. Above the hotbar, there are two bars. One is hearts, and one looks like hunks of meat. The hearts are my hit points. Anytime I get hurt, a certain amount of those hearts will blacken. As I get hungry, which means as I swim, as I run around, as I jump, as I chop wood or mine, I slowly lose those hunks of meat. To fill the hunks of meat back up, I want to make sure that I eat any food items I have. Different food items will fill different amounts of hunks of meat. I have a full bar for my hunger right now, so I'm not concerned about it, but that is something to keep an eye on. The other item I picked up is an oak sapling. We've mentioned those before, and I'm going to right-click on an open grass block to plant it. Over time, this will turn into a new oak tree. I'm going to get my crafting table. I'm going to get a wooden pickaxe. I'm going to find some stone, and if I remember, yep, there's a hole right here. I'm going to do a little digging to create myself a little staircase to get down. I'm going to replace my wooden pickaxe with a stone pickaxe. I'm going to gather some more stone for more tools. Now, I don't want to go too far into this dark cave, but there is a block here that I see that I do want to talk to you about. This right here, it looks kind of like coal, but if you notice, it has kind of like a tan detail. I'm going to mine that with a stone pickaxe, and it has to be a stone pickaxe or better, and I'm going to pick that up. Now, it looks like that was it, which is fine, but it looks like there might be a little bit more farther in. Now, normally I don't want to go this far into the caves without torches, but I need this coal right here to be able to get torches. So I'm going to get some of this coal and get some of this other block, and I'm going to head back up top. Now that the lighting is a little bit better, the block that I was telling you about is this right here. If you notice, this looks a lot like the coal block, except it has this tan detailing. This is iron ore. This is something that I'm going to want a little bit farther down the road. Now, I was only able to get one coal in there, but that's okay. There is an alternative to coal. I'm going to get the rest of my stone tools, and then I'm going to use my stone axe to get the rest of this wood over here. I've chopped all this wood, so I'm going to use my stone hoe to break all of these leaf blocks. I'm going to replant a couple saplings over here to make sure I have wood, and I can plant some of these other saplings along the way back. So a new block that we're going to talk about today is the furnace. I'm going to use 8 cobblestone configured like this to produce a furnace. The furnace is a block that I can place just like the crafting table, and if I right click on it, I'll get an interface that looks like this. Coal is one of the fuels for a furnace, and if I have 1 coal and any amount of logs, I can use my furnace to essentially cook the logs to produce charcoal. Now I'm going to let that run for a little bit, and actually, this is a perfect time to talk about if I don't have any sheep nearby and it's starting to become nighttime, the smartest thing that I can do is I can either dig a hole to hide in until daytime, or I can use some of the blocks that I have to build a shelter. Now, is there a good place to dig a hole? Let's see here. I want to be able to see the daylight. So we're going to come back over here, actually. And I want to hurry. And I'm just going to use my shovel to dig us into this hill just like this. And then I'm going to put some dirt down to block the entrance. And I want to make sure that I can give myself a spot to hide, not facing directly at the entrance, but I can see out of the entrance because I want to be able to see when it's daytime. Now, this is kind of boring, but as soon as it's nighttime, if I'm outside, a bunch of monsters are going to start to appear, and their goal is to attack me. And I don't really have any weapons, and I definitely don't have any armor, so the best thing that I can do right now is to hide. So if you see out in the distance, there's a bunch of things moving around. So I've done a little zooming in, and you can see all these creatures moving around. This is a skeleton. They carry bows and they can shoot you. This green tall thing right here is a creeper. They will explode if they get too close to you. This back here is a zombie. They will try to attack you if they get close enough to you. And the thing with the glowing eyes is a spider. They will attack you at nighttime or if you're in a dark cave. These are basically all of the things that we want to stay away from at this point in the game. Because we aren't sleeping and it's dark, they are going to basically kind of keep appearing until daytime. Now, if you notice some of them are disappearing too, they will essentially over time spawn in and despawn if nothing is around for them to interact with. The moment I go over there though, I'm the thing that they want to interact with, and so they will stay, and they will start to attack me until they have killed me. So I want to stay in my hole until the sun comes up. Now this zombie just noticed that I'm here, and it's going to try to get to me, but because of this block that I placed, it can't. So I'm still safe under here, even though it knows I'm here, and that's fine. So now you notice my food bar is starting to get a little low. So I'm going to grab this apple. I'm going to wheel over to it, and then I'm just going to hold down the right mouse button until I've eaten the apple. And if you notice, it's replaced 2 of the hunks of meat in my food bar. Obviously, my food bar is not filled up, but it has gotten me a little bit farther away from being hungry. Now, the food bar does 2 things. If the food bar is completely full and I take damage, it will help me restore some of my hit points in exchange for losing a little bit of food. Also, if my food bar completely empties, I will actually start to take damage because I'm hungry. So those are 2 things that are important to pay attention to with your food bar. If it gets too low, it can hurt me, but if it's full, it can actually help me heal. Something to watch for as the sun starts to come up, and this will be the thing that indicates to you that it is completely daytime, is the zombies that are off in the distance will catch on fire. And that is because sunlight hurts them. Just like this zombie right here is now on fire. I can use my axe to help speed this up. Skeletons and zombies, if they get touched by daylight, immediately catch on fire. So I'm going to use my shovel, and I want to get out of this hole as fast as I can so I don't get trapped in here. So I'm going to press control, and I'm going to run out, and I'm going to head directly into the water. Because if a creeper follows me and explodes, it actually won't do that much damage. Luckily, the creeper didn't follow me. And there's one in the distance there, okay. Now I'm going to head back over to where our furnace and our crafting table is. Again, keeping an eye out for creepers. Creepers and spiders don't burn up in the sunlight like skeletons and zombies do. However, creepers can only damage you if they get close enough to you to explode, and spiders will actually leave you alone in the sunlight unless you attack them first. So this spider doesn't care that I'm here. Doesn't care at all. Now, if I attacked him with my axe, he suddenly is very angry with me. But if I attack him with my axe a second time, sometimes maybe a third time, I can get rid of him. Just kind of looking around to make sure there aren't any other creepers around. I don't really want to get snuck up on by one. And it doesn't seem like there are, which is good. Now, I don't really have any animals on my island, so I'm going to break some of this tall grass. This is going to help with me being able to keep an eye out for monsters. And this will drop seeds occasionally too, so that I can get a wheat farm going. So I've broken up the tall grass to help with visibility, and I've also gathered some seeds in doing so. So I'm going to set up a little bit of a wheat farm here, and this is going to help with a food source. Now that I have this charcoal that I got from burning those logs, I'm going to place this down in the fuel slot, and I'm going to place my iron ore up in here in my input slot. And just like with the logs, I have this activating again. Now, as that works, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to gather some of these fish. Now, while swimming around to get fish, our thing to notice is this bubble bar that's over my health bar. That is my oxygen bar. It only appears when I'm underwater, and as you notice, it starts to go down over time. Now, as that empties out, I'll actually start to take damage. So as it gets lower and lower, you can see by my hearts I'm actually getting hurt. And that's simply because I can't breathe. As soon as I get my head back above water, my air bubbles start to fill back up. So we're going to head back over to our furnace, and I can tell that it's not lit right now, which means that our iron must be done. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to put my raw cod up there. And this furnace can also cook my food as well as smelt my iron. So while that's cooking, I'm going to come over to my crafting table. And just like I have with the other two types, I'm going to now create an iron pickaxe. And for the first time ever, we're going to talk about swords. Now, I could have made a stone sword in the exact same configuration, but with cobblestones, like so, but it won't last as long as an iron sword. And so it's actually a little bit better to just wait until you can have an iron sword. And if you notice, an iron sword does 6 attack damage. A stone sword would do 5 attack damage. So not only will the iron sword last longer, it also does more damage. So now I have something to protect myself with if I absolutely need to. Now, I could rely on our hole over there for hiding, but I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build myself a very basic house. And there's no right or wrong place to put it, but I think this spot right here is perfect. So I'm going to clear some of this grass out of the way. I'm going to turn all of my oak logs into oak planks. And I'm just going to build myself a very basic box. Like so. Now you may be saying to yourself, wow, that's not a very good house. And you're right, this isn't a very good house. However, it's exactly what I need to be able to survive. So I'm going to come back over to my furnace. I'm going to grab my cooked cod, and I'm going to grab half of my charcoal. And the way that I can do that is I can just right click on the charcoal, and that will pick up approximately half of any pile. I'm going to use 2 sticks, 2 charcoal, and I'm going to get torches from my charcoal. Now I'm going to put one of these on the inside, and I'm going to put these on the outside as well. So this will help keep the area around my house lit, which is going to help prevent monsters from appearing around it. I'm also going to do this. If I have enough wood, I can create a door for myself. Now, no matter what, the minimum amount of doors this makes is 3. So I'll have some spare doors for later on. And as the sun is setting, there's nothing wrong necessarily with the way that I angled my house, but I find that it's very helpful until you get a bed to aim your house at either where the sun and moon go down or where the sun comes up. So I'm actually going to change the direction that my house faces. And I actually think I could make a slightly bigger house for myself. I can. And there we go, our very ugly house. Ooh, and it's starting to rain. So this is a perfect time for me to go inside, shut the door. I'm going to eat some of my cooked cod. And now I'll just wait until the sun comes up. Again, this is a little bit slower of a way to get through the day-night cycle, and make sure that you're safe. However, if there are no sheep around you, this is the way that you do it. If waiting for the sun to come back up doesn't sound fun for you, that's fine. If you start in a place where you can't find any sheep rapidly, again, you can always start a new map until you start in a place where there are sheep nearby you. This is just an alternative in case you start a map, want to stick with the map, and can't find sheep. Now that we've learned a little bit about iron, we've learned about why food is important, and we've also learned about kind of the dangers of the dark and nighttime, we're going to stop it here for today. But next episode, we're going to pick up on this island, and we're going to continue to build off this island and build for ourselves a little bit of a little survival base. So I look forward to seeing you next time in the Lapis Kingdom. Have a great day. Bye.